Hi, everyone. I was dabbling around on Google News yesterday and I saw an article that came out regarding Kellogg's. Now, Kellogg's, the big Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes conglomerate out of Battle Creek, Michigan, kind of came up with a news release or a press release or something like that along the lines of they were really and truly touting or patting themselves on the back because they're committed to continuing innovative or using innovative packaging. Okay, great. And now, look, this isn't necessarily just against Kellogg's, but this is where I have a problem when it comes to all these big brands. They're all making these announcements that they're committed and determined, and by 2025 we're going to have blah 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 blah. But the reality is, it's the same old, same old. I don't know who they're trying to convince here, but what I'm getting at is if you look at the press release and they're talking about using innovative new packaging and for recycling, recycling is the big buzzword that's out there. Now, where I have a problem is firsthand, I've worked with Kellogg's in the past. I've been to their factory, I've been to their headquarters, I've gone through this, and they're like the Titanic. Okay, so and I'll give you my experience, but this is like trying to get the Titanic to turn around, and it just doesn't happen that easily. And the reason why I call reference to this press release is Kellogg's hasn't done anything different for the last 30 years. They're using the same chipboard box with a plastic bag liner. It is, you can call it recyclable, I guess, but is it recycled? I guarantee you the majority of this ends up in the trash that goes to the landfill. And there's a reason why for all this. And this is where I want to bring this together. So, anyhow, um, probably about 10 years ago, there was a new packaging style that kind of came out. And it really was new to the US market. Totani had developed the equipment out of Japan, and very few companies were able to sell what's known as a flat bottom side gusset stand up pouch. Why I took this to Kellogg's was A, we had some relationships there in the past. B, I was able to talk directly with a packaging engineer there and to discuss the viability of this. Now, a flat bottom side gusset pouch is what it does is it mimics a box. So imagine a pouch made with flexible film that actually mimics the size and shape of this traditional cereal box. Why I thought Kellogg's would be all over it at the time, Kellogg's was, whether they had mentioned or it was in the news that they were really not floundering, but just stale. And it was one of the comments way back when was, there's not a whole lot you can do with the breakfast, meaning not lunch or dinner, breakfast, which is what Kellogg's is really known for. Anyhow, um, the style itself is was very revolutionary. It would be very unique for Kellogg's, and it would hold more product in less space. Finally, it would be one SKU, one type of packaging, not your chipboard box with a inner liner bag that goes inside of there. Okay, so the thing that really, I don't want to say bothered me, but this was a cost saving, drastic cost savings. This was a sustainable example because you're reducing how much packaging was used. This was going to really be something that Kellogg's could promote that they are, attempting to be different, unique, whatever it may be, and it went nowhere. And the reason why it went nowhere was at least the packaging engineer was truthful with me. He had said, "Look, our equipment is so set up for these traditional boxes with a plastic bag, they're not going to change. We went through purchasing, and purchasing was like we'd have to buy new equipment or retrofit our equipment, and nothing." So why I bring this full circle here is here's another example, in my opinion, You've got Kellogg's, I don't know, calling some newbie reporter looking for a scoop. And Kellogg's is going to say that we're really committed now to innovative packaging and doing something different, but they're not. Look at the brands. I took a screenshot of really Kellogg's main brands that are out there, from Eggo waffles to Fruit Loops. Okay, it's all the same packaging. It's all the same packaging from 10 years ago, from 20 years ago, probably 30 years ago. What I'm getting at is it's the same old, same old. So if Kellogg's really wants to help the environment, if Kellogg's really wants to be different, and they made mention in this article that they were really partnered with How to Recycle, and they're also partnered with Sustainable Packaging Coalition, whatever. The fact is, you're not doing anything different. So if Kellogg's really wants to do something different, if Kellogg's really wants to step out and use their clout, use their weight, my opinion, use it to actually change the recycling rules and regulations in this country. Use this to pressure our government, state and federal. Use this to work with other big conglomerates like Nestle's or P&G or Amazon, the retailers, and literally come up with consistent, relatable, understandable recycling rules and regulations that we all can follow. Not my area in Cleveland, Ohio, and drive 5 minutes over and have completely different rules. This is where it drives me nuts. If Kellogg's wants to really help, don't pat yourself on the back. Do something that would really help encourage recycling. Recycling can and will work. Recycling has proven that it'll work. I don't care whether it's paper related or plastic or glass or aluminum. Recycling works, but we all need to know what's recyclable, what isn't recyclable, what needs to go in this receptacle, what needs to go in that receptacle. Right now, we're all willy-nilly in it. And that just really drives me crazy. And it just basically, this press release just falls on deaf ears because it's the same old drivel that they've done for 30 years. Same crap. Do something different. Use your clout. Change the way we all understand recycling so we can teach our young people and teach their children to be able to recycle properly. Recycling works if we all know what to do. I hope this is helpful. Thanks for listening.